said she wanted to withdraw the appeal because of this court's incompetence. And Glendora had 2 weeks by these so-called rules to do that. Well, I missed the 2 weeks to, I had 2 weeks to change my mind, in other words. Well, I did not want to change my mind. I certainly did not want to do that. And so it went bye-bye by default. And this is bad, that you do not sign your papers. That is not signed. You should know the rules and know enough to sign legal papers. What is the matter with you people? Glendora did not mean to drop her appeal by default. By default. She meant to withdraw it. There was no question about that. But she did not want to get back to you within, but she did want to get back to you within the 2 weeks and make it clear that she wanted to withdraw it. There is nothing amphibious about that, but she cannot keep up with all the injustice coming out of federal court. You have secretaries and clerks and custodians, and Glendora is just one person doing the work of 5. Again, there was no doubt that Glendora wanted to withdraw her appeal. The reason was and is and always will be the incompetence of this court. It's lying, it's cheating, it's cover-ups, it's Criminal Code 18 U.S. Code Section 1001. But don't feel badly, 4th Circuit in Richmond, Virginia. The other 10 appellate courts are even worse. This report will be on Internet Program 4064, second edition, in about 3 weeks. Copy of their envelope and addressed to me. And there's only 4 sets: the court, Wilkins, the Internet, you, and McDermott, and the Center for Judicial Accountability. You saw that. So I told him a joke on the back. The doctor says, I have bad news and very bad news. And the patient says, what's the bad news? And the doctor says, you have 2 days to live. And the patient says, well, what's the very bad news? I forgot to tell you yesterday. Dated 3 days before April 18th, Patriots Day, in the year 2005, State of New York. Yours in truth, and in amor patriae, Glendora, without prejudice, Uniform Commercial Code, Article 1, Section 207, Glendora. I chat with Glendora on 45 TV stations, 440 municipalities, including Washington, D.C. I missed a little kitten. .com misses the little kitten. But we were blessed. I think we found her a very nice person. Don't you? Okay. Now we'll go work another hour on Preferred Country Properties, Natalia versus Glendora, and Glendora versus Natalia, Preferred Country Properties. I'm making a motion to dismiss their case and do away with the trial. Good morning, everybody. It took all day Sunday to rep these tapes. And over here. Now let's see if you and I get the same number when we count them. That big package is to Yorktown and Cross River. That's 3 tapes in there. Now, how many do you count? What'd you get? I got 23. Is that what you got? 7 hours Sunday and a couple hours this morning. Now, how many do you get here? Every one of these is 2. In fact, every package here, they're piggybacked, is 2. So, let's see how many you get on this one. I get 20. What would you get? 20 and 23 is 43. And here's the last one over here. Now, where shall we send the last one? It will be piggyback, because every TV station does have 1 tape at least. It will be piggyback. Where shall we send this one? Manhattan with all of its barcodes. Karen Heck in Bergen County, New Jersey. No, she's already got 2, I think. Great Neck, Public Access, Lake Success. I don't know, it's a pretty small system. Cox, we're still dealing with Cox. I don't have time to solve that problem, but I think I have a solution to it. Manchester, Connecticut. Manhattan Neighborhood Network, we've already done that. They have 2. They're piggybacked. Greenberg, Westchester County. Alfreda Vision, George Malone. They're nice. Rye. That's a good possibility, because they play the program at 10:30 Monday, 12:30 Monday, 2:30 Monday, 4:30 Monday, 6:30 Monday, and 8:30 Monday, maybe 10:30 Monday. So they need another one. They shouldn't go on for 2 weeks in a row. So let's see if Rye has a second one. BronxNet. No, they aren't that great a system. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. RCN, Kevin Bailey. How I love Kevin Bailey. Poughkeepsie. No, not Poughkeepsie. They aren't that great. It's in the afternoon. Kevin Bailey, 7 p.m. Monday night. Time Warner. He's a good one. Binghamton. So Rye and Binghamton are the 2 candidates. Mount Vernon, he has 45 tapes, Jeffrey. Corsella, please send me back my 45 tapes. And then, how about Norwalk, Connecticut? At the moment, they aren't that reliable. We don't know what's going on down there. We don't get time to call. Los Alamos? No. Small system and in the afternoon. Peekskill? No. 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Saturday is a good time slot, but Great Neck we did. Yorktown we did. No. Brooklyn. Not for the time being. I need VHS, and I don't get time to call, and I have to save up the money to call them. Santa Fe, no, small system, but I think they're on in prime time. Yonkers got a tape for the first time. Thank you, Elmer Johnson. You are a sweetheart. Thank you so much, Elmer Johnson. West Seneca, no, they got one about Adelphia bankruptcy. Riverhead, no. Hauppauge already got a second one. LTV in Waynescott. No. West Nyack, that would be Rockland. No. Staten, no. I don't know what the status is in Staten. Portland, Oregon, nope. Nassau got a second one. So that's lists 1 and 2. This is Dick Wolfley, my contact for the internet. If you want your show on the internet, talk to him. LMC TV, nope. Mamaroneck, Larchmont. Alan Sherman, he's so nice, folks. Comcast in Trenton, New Jersey. He sends back my tapes, UPS, and he pays for it. Can you imagine Cablevision being that magnanimous? Litchfield, no. That time slot is not so good. What is it, 2 o'clock Saturdays? Jack George, Middletown. It's a big signal. It's a big system. Newburgh, we got a request for a Happy Book from Newburgh. Nope. Chris Cook got a second one in Albany. That's a tremendous signal. It goes all the way up to Glens Falls and all the way down to here. Way, way down to here. I can't afford Queens. Another $40 fee. I just don't have it. You drain me dry. I have to pay $40 to get it bumped up from VHS to Sony Professional DVD. Roger Connor in Wappingers, that's a big system. And it's a very good time slot, 10 p.m. Thursday. But Roger will not send me back my tapes, and he's been asked 6 or 7 times. Here's a sweetie pie. Rob Jackson, one of my favorites, Harrison and New Rochelle. Nope. Staten Island? No, that's, I called up last time, it wasn't on the schedule, and I hadn't had time to check it out. Stephen Williams, QPTV, Queens, we've gone over that. Red Strauss, White Plains? No. So Rye was the first choice, and they already have 2. So I'll give it to Rob Jackson, who's my favorite public access coordinator. He's a very fine person, a very rare person, and you can tell that he had a good mother. His mother was a teacher. He's a joy. So it'll go to him, my favorite public access coordinator, Rob Jackson, and Harrison, New Rochelle. Right. No, Harrison, New Rochelle, and Port Chester is that system. And they're piggybacked by putting in the envelope and then strapping them together like this. And the post office gives you 2 for 1. Media mail, you can send 2 VHS for $1.43, same as it costs for 1 VHS. Newton's third law of motion: for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, particularly if you're married. When a woman's work is never done, thanks to daytime TV, early to bed and early to rise will make you healthy, wealthy, and apt to get your own breakfast, fit as a fiddle but shaped like a bass viol. Take each day as if it were your last day, and someday you'll be right. Did you hear about the accountant who was so smart, the American Association of Accountants named a loophole after him? Then the accountant who said he was going to work for the state, and his client says, "Oh, congratulations, what are you going to do for the state?" And he said, "Make license plates." These ants are in the house at this time of year. In a couple of weeks they'll be outdoors. How do you get ants out of your house? You feed them outdoors. They don't go outdoors to eat. Why are Bob and Joan the perfect couple? He's a pill and she's a hypochondriac, and there's nothing so simple that Cablevision can't make it difficult. This is Glendora, a cheerful look at life, 2 minutes of goodwill and good cheer and humor, brought to you by. Call for a free Glendora Happy Book, 914-949-9495. Here's the address where you join the happiness contest. $25 cash prize, first prize, $10 second, $5 third. And you write 90 words or less on happiness. It's over May the 1st. Decision of the judges is final. There's already 3 entries on the internet contest, why the internet is so important. And let's see, what else? I think that's everything. It's open to all ages. Happiness lesson is have your alone time with God. And when you're around doing something with your hands and not using your head, count pure thoughts. Pray for your enemies. What else? Sing hymns. Here's a list of hymns. This is a good list of hymns. Oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise, the glory of my God and King, the triumph of His grace. Will you pray for these people? William Budrow, who's wrongfully in prison. They have nothing against him. His due process has been denied. It's like KBG, Siberia, Russia, instead of like the United States of America. For Esther Varon, cast out that evil demon. For Irving Sachs, happy, whole, and healthy, and all present blessings continue. Donna Mazza, she just doesn't feel good. Just pray for her, please. All present blessings continue. And for Jane Dean, the doctor said her thyroid, 80% chance it isn't cancer, but 20% it is. So please pray for her. Pray for Winston Dog down in Queens. He just doesn't feel good. He has something wrong with his heart. He's 8 years old. Cute little animal. And pray for all of the animals, that people stop being mean to the animals, stop bludgeoning them, stop hitting them on the heads with sledgehammers, stop shackle and hoist them, shackle a 200-pound cow and make it dangle from the ceiling by its one leg with a body pulling itself out of the hip and then slitting its throat, and pray for people that they stop eating animals. That flesh is in the state of putrefaction the minute they see it, that people eat right and be vegetarians. And animals, you yourself, stop being mean to animals. And let it be like Isaiah, or as Isaiah said, God's holy mountain where the lamb lies down with the lion. And we stop this cruelty and this agony and this torture and this murdering and this slaughtering. Pray for all of these people that they be one with God and know the goodness and the happiness and the joy and the peace inside of them, the attainment, the wealth, the wisdom, that they be one with God and that they lead others to be one with God. Amen. Solemnly ratified. Amen. This legal paper going to CJA Elena Sassauer, great American hero. To the Hudson City Court, to Barry Sachs, judge. Clerk. What's it say? Clerk D. Benedetto. Get this to the judge as quickly as possible. Urgent. Oh yeah, to the judge at Hudson City Court. Jonathan Littman, Chief Judge of the Administration of New York Courts. His deputy, Jan Plumidor, Glendora Plumidor. Judith Kay, and I do mean Judith Kay. George McDermott, great American patriot, Washington, D.C. This has got to be served today. Jonathan D. Nichols and John H. Clark at Columbia County Court, Hudson, New York. James Kleinbaum, Natalia's lawyer. Village of Chatham and Chatham Police. Governor Pataki. Natalia and Preferred Country Properties, who started all of this mess. Too bad. Clerk of the Court in Chatham Village Court, Roberta Nicholson and Mary Lou Kirsten, National Association of Realtors, Columbia Green Board of Realtors. Administrative Judge Ceresia, who doesn't do much, and Clifford Niasbach, and hold everything. Hold everything, folks. Okay. What is his name? Terrence McDermott. Pretty hard to hold the camera with one hand and write with the other. Okay. Thank you for helping me catch that. Leonard S. Goldman and the Do Nothing New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct. Their job to protect you from bad judges. They don't do it. And friend Brad Sachs. We rush now to the post office and make sure this is served within the hour.
I've got a great job. Money in the bank. Last month, someone asked if I read the Bible. The Bible? I'm successful. I'm happy. What do I need the Bible for? I can get more from the Wall Street Journal. But that made me curious. So I decided to take a second look.
I'm on my feet all day. When I go home, I just want to turn on the TV and relax. But read the Bible? All those these and thous and begats? Who wants to struggle with that after waiting on customers all day? But then a friend showed me this version written in modern English, and I was surprised.
This guy I play hoops with said I should start reading it, the Bible. Man, I said, I don't need no Bible. I mean, it just ain't cool. So he goes, I read it all the time. And he beat me by 20 points. So he gives me his Bible. I read it. It ain't hoops, but it ain't bad.
What's your excuse? Before you make an excuse to avoid reading the Bible, stop. Take a second look. Pick up the Bible for 5 minutes, and you may pick it up for a lifetime.
There is the legal paper that was served yesterday right after I showed you the envelopes. It was served by 410 post meridian. It took until from April the 13th to April the 18th, 2005. City Court, New York, United States of America. It's Glendora, notice of motion and motion to dismiss. Reserved for the clerks, Preferred Country Properties. Petitioner, that's Natalia, versus Glendora defendant. And the movement is Glendora. And the return date is 14 days from the day after service. Equals May the 2nd, 2005, Law Day. Location is the courthouse, City of Hudson, 429 Warren Street, Hudson, New York, 12534. The presiding judge is Barry Sachs. The relief requested is dismissal of the action in its entirety. Grounds are the action was a summary proceeding giving Glendora 3 days to vacate. This was so nasty and outraged. Glendora thought she vacated the premises within a week when there was no court order, and is now in a place where she is very happy and has a civilized and amiable landlord. Grounds are petition was and is falsely defective, fatally defective on 15 counts. C. Glendora versus Nasty Natalia complaint filed March the 22nd, 2004. That's a little over a year ago, 2 weeks, in the record on appeal. The grounds are this was a summary proceeding and had to be served by the New York State Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law. It was not. To this date, Glendora has not been served in personam, nor has she been served by regular mail, nor was the petition affixed to the door. No mail and mail. Nor was diligence and service performed. New York State Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law must be strictly construed. That was the intent of the New York legislature. Glendora came to court only to prevent judgment by default. Glendora came to the Hudson City Court even though no claim was stated. That's the second thing. No service, no claim, and an amount of 00 was stated. They said the claim, notice of the claim said the claim was for $00 and cents. And even though the petition has failed to give this court jurisdiction over Glendora, she came to court only to prevent judgment by default. You see that little kitty cat? That's .com. The legal basis is the statute, New York State Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law. If any further grounds are needed, Glendora has stated them in her papers to the Chatham Village Court and to the Columbia County Court of Appeals, which record on appeal has been ordered to be supplied to this court, the City Court of Hudson. Glendora incorporates all such grounds here in this notice of motion. Incorporate all such grounds in this notice of motion as if they were fully stated in this notice of motion. Further supporting papers are Glendora's memorandum of April the 6th to the Hudson City Court and the affidavit in support of the April 14th through April 18th affixed here too. That will be up next, the affidavit. Service of this motion to dismiss together with affidavit in support was on James Kleinbaum and on Natalia Preferred Country Properties. And to Glendora's one-year-old service list of Judith K., Jonathan Littman, Jan Pumadora, George Ceresia, Leonard Goodman of the New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct, 4 actors in the National Association of Realtors, Chatham Village and Police, Dixon and wife clerk. The date of service is April the 18th, Patriots Day, by first-class mail, postmarked, postpaid on U.S. mail. Yesterday, April the 18th, was Patriots Day. The British are coming, the British are coming. 1 if by land and 2 if by sea. Concord, Massachusetts. Lexington, Concord. Who said the British are not coming? Who said that? The British are not coming. Paul Revere. A Chat with Glendora, a TV network of 45 TV stations, and on the World Wide Web was by electronic recording and UBS streaming. Under penalty of perjury, Glendora asseverates she tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help her God. Kleinbaum, George Dixon, Clerk Mrs. Dixon, and Natalia Preferred have not. Yours in truth and in Amor Patriae, sworn to before me this 18th day of April 2005, Bonnie Sutherland, Notary Public, and without prejudice, Uniform Commercial Code, Article 1207, Glendora, without prejudice. Okay. Now comes the affidavit. Affidavit of Glendora in support of motion and motion to dismiss. Under penalty of perjury, Glendora avers that she is telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and always has on these matters, so help her God. Natalia Kleinbaum and both Dixons have not. Glendora apologizes to the court for her access of fury when she found out that the clerk had failed to get her April 6th memorandum to the judge. That's pretty bad. But for his perusal before April 13th hearing, which turned out to be not a hearing at all. Glendora should have focused on the judge's statement. I'll have to look it over and let both of you know as to regards to the trial. Which all the judge did is what they usually do. They set a date for the trial. But he should have, the clerk should have got that paper to him, and there very well may have been no trial. It might have been dismissed right then and there. So stay tuned. With Glendora's help, with God's help, 2 hours later, Glendora sees that. She asks to be redeemed. There's no way an honest court can read the record from the lower court and the April 6th memorandum and this affidavit in support and not grant Glendora's motion to dismiss. There's no way an honest court can read this record from the lower court and the April 6th memorandum and this affidavit in support and not grant Glendora's motion to dismiss. Dated April the 15th, 2005, Income Tax Day, State of New York, County of Columbia, sworn to and before me this 18th day of April, 2005, notary. And again, the common law. A, no claim, and no amount, $0 and cents. Nothing can move forward until this clerk does her job and files Glendora's petition, which includes getting it to the judge. Further, nothing can move forward until the judge intercepts Glendora's petition, that is, her memorandum to the Chief Judge of April the 6th, 2005. Glendora has not been heard. Glendora is not getting due process of law. 5th and 14th of the United States Constitution, Article 1, Bill of Rights, and the Constitution of the State of New York. This is actionable. What's that mean? Sue them. So-called complainant, whoever it is, has not given this court jurisdiction over Glendora. She has not been served a claim. The court's first step is to read Glendora's memorandum to the Chief Judge of April the 6th, 2005. Hey, I want people to see how beautiful she is. She has grown into such a beautiful cat. Isn't she pretty? You missed your little kitten, huh? Life is not as much fun as it was with the little kitten, right? All of this is stated clearly in this paper. Small claims is a matter of substantial justice. Substantial means money. Not only is there no claim, but there is no money. The claim, the notice of claim, states that the amount of the claim is $0 and cents. The so-called notice of claim states that the so-called claim, whatever it is $0 and cents. And this court, without doing its homework, of the clerk getting to the judge a week in advance the memorandum, and the judge not doing his homework and intercepting the same, goes blithely forward, setting a trial date when there are no triable issues, since there is no claim. And there's no amount. The minimum a litigant can expect of a court is for the clerk to get the paper to the judge and for the judge to read it before making a kangaroo leap to a trial. B, a claim has to be statutorily served. Not only is Glendora without a claim, but she is without service of same. No claim has been served on Glendora. If the claim is a summary proceeding, that means landlord-tenant, eviction, or whatever, in a landlord-tenant matter, it has to be served pursuant to the New York State Real Property Law and the New York State Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law. The Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law must be strictly construed. That was the legislature's intent and why the Real Property Law was not adequate. That's right. The New York State Real Property Law was not adequate. Nobody knew what was going on. The dates were a blur. The procedure was a blur. And so the legislature sat down for a long time and figured out a very strict procedure in action, or a strict procedure in bringing an action. Exact dates and exact days and procedure, how to serve, everything like that. Service has to be in personam. There has not been service by regular mail, and Glendora is stating service by the claimant, not by the court. Service further has to be by first-class mail. Service has to be affixed to the door, nail and mail. And service has to be due diligence. You know, if you don't get them the first time, then go get them, keep going and going until you do get them, and they never did that either. Isn't this a beautiful day? You know that this is the 15th consecutive sunshiny day. April 14th, it rained and it was cold, and that's when the kitten was abandoned in that terrible weather, and we rescued her, and she got that terrible cold, and we brought her in, and gradually, through heat and washing her and keeping her clean and keeping her warm, we got mostly rid of that cold before she went to a nice new home. There has been no such service in the Hudson Court. There never was any such service in the Chatham Village Court. This court, the Hudson Court, has no jurisdiction over Glendora. Claimant, whoever claimant is, see Glendora's memorandum of April 6th, has not given this court jurisdiction over Glendora. To set a trial date is non sequitur. The Chatham Court never did have jurisdiction. The preferred fatally defective, entirely a nullity, should have been dismissed instantly. Indeed, the appeals court did vacate Dixon's order. In fact, both of them. Because I brought a case against Natalia and Preferred Country Properties, and the appeals court, County of Columbia, vacated Dixon's order against me on that. The trial date of May 11th has no reality because so-called claimant has failed to give court jurisdiction. This court has been caught. Glendora was aghast that the clerk had failed to notice the judge of her memorandum stating fatal failure of procedure. Prima facie, it was urgent. Second aghast was the judge's bald announcement, this is the first I've seen this, on the morning of the hearing, so-called. This is dysfunctionalism. This rank tramples Glendora's rights to due process of law is actionable under Title 42 U.S. Code Section 1983, Civil Rights, and under Section 1985, Conspiracy. You are state actor, the judge, the three clerks, the police department, and the city of Hudson. Judge's reaction to Glendora's appall was, sit down, I'll deal with you last. Article 13, Canon 3A requires the judge to be courteous and patient with litigants. Taken as an affront to ego, this hot-tempered outburst was not courteous and patient. The judge was solicitous of lawyers' appointment at 10:30 in Albany with, you go to Albany. Judge was not. Bilaterally solicitous of Glendora's commitments for the morning. Attorney alleged Glendora has never seen his credentials. James Kleinbaum rubbed by 20 people in line in an inhumanly tight space, slithered through the closed door and through security, so-called. He should have stood in line and been scanned. The term of Rosemary Clerk in the storefront was the rest of us. Likewise, the corporation counsel should have been. Kleinbaum left instantly. Glendora stayed. Glendora wants 2 hours credit for time served. And, for certain, when Glendora got through the barricade into the courtroom, de minimis, there was Kleinbaum doing his usual ex parte and ingratiating himself with clerks and police. He had already made one, and probably many more, Glendora speculates, application to the judge. He had to be in Albany by 10:38, 30 miles north. There were already 42 people in a room, circa 12 by 20. About 15 minutes into the ship's hold, the judge Sato Voci said something to Kleinbaum, and Glendora put her foot down, and she said, "What did he say to you?" No ex parte. Kleinbaum answered, he asked me what time I had to be in Albany. At 10:30 a.m., I told him. Glendora felt the pain of such a frenetic schedule. Yeah. Settlement. Then Kleinbaum said to Glendora, Natalia is willing to drop her claim against you if you're just willing to drop your claim against her. And Glendora says, okay, well, let's think about it. I can't give you a decision just like that. Okay. And when can we discuss it, Glendora asked. Whenever you'd like to. Give me a call. Okay, call you? What's your number? It was left that Glendora would call Kleinbaum tomorrow, Thursday. That would be April the 14th, at 1 p.m. at 794-8708. 518 area code. 794-8708. You call Kleinbaum and tell him if you think it should be settled. Kleinbaum says she's willing to drop, and there was something about a time eviction, and she's willing to drop, and you drop everything, whatever claim that you have against her. Glenn repeated it. Kleinbaum said, basically, just drop everything. What about the security deposit, Glendora says. She's never given me my security deposit of $435. Glenn asked Kleinbaum, and Kleinbaum said nothing to that. And Glenn says, what is a good time to call you? And it was settled to be 1 p.m. And Glendora says, I want to see how this goes first, meaning the court proceedings in the Hudson court, the instant situation. The judge, Barry Sachs, S-A-C-K-S, I guess, was wrong to cut off the trilogue at the bench. He should have asked, what did the paper say? He would have seen he didn't have jurisdiction. With Kleinbaum in Albany and Glendora in the Hudson courtroom, what could the judge then ask or discuss? Kleinbaum had gone to Albany. The judge can't talk to Glendora alone, ex parte. So it was a frozen ex parte. Now this is D. And I'm telling the people here about court monitoring. So Glendora easily lapsed into her 12-year rut of monitoring courts. She started this work with the Fund for Modern Courts in 1991 or so. She monitored all the judges in the Supreme Court, County of Westchester, all of them. State of New York, it's about 40 of them. The Peekskill City Court, that's 2 judges. The Rye City Court, that's 2 judges. Inter alia. She made extensive notes on the proceedings in the Hudson Court while she sat there. It was vehicle and traffic, the city ordinance violations, inter alia. And it's all so sad. It's always the poor people they get. Not one person in that court, I guess, other than myself and Kleinbaum and the judge, was dressed up. They all came in slouch clothes. They were all very poor people. They were charged with all kinds of things like dropping litter on the Hudson streets. You've got to say this, I did not see a bit of litter on Warren Street near that courthouse, so-called. The courthouse is a storefront. And about the garbage has to be put in the bags that you're given. They can't be put on any bag. And the garbage was piled up on the back porch, and it was all kinds of things like that. And they were all $40 fines with a state surcharge of another $50. And the people didn't have the money to pay them. There was one old lady there, older than myself, with a cane. Sachs was reasonable about many of them, and he dismissed many of them. And one woman had been called 3 times, and she didn't have the money 3 times, and the judge told her, well, you'll have to go to jail. Isn't this America? Isn't America free? Isn't it a free country? Yet, if you don't have the money, you go to jail. The rich don't go to jail, just the poor people. And there was a prisoner there in handcuffs He was young, he was blond and unkempt, and devoid of rest and sleep. Glendora's heart went out to him. She could feel he had been violated. She went to the outer cubicle by the entrance and she asked Sergeant Bolino if she could see the prisoner. When Sergeant was talking to another man, and the sergeant was saying, "I'll do what you do. I'll get into my uniform and get into the car and disappear for 4 hours." Bolino said no to Glendora's request to see the prisoner. "Well, can I see the chief?" And the other man says, "I am the chief." "Well, may I see the prisoner?" The chief was even more adamant. Glendora says, "I want to give him $20. The chief diabolically obstructed. "Remember," Glendora says, "you did this before God." And the chief says, "I've done it many times before." His name was L.C. Richardson. And Glendora says, "That doesn't make it right." And he says, "You're absolutely right." Glendora went back to the front row and made notes as to the defendants' names and charges and defenses and dispositions thereof. I'll report it on TV, maybe, as I often do, court proceedings, and on the internet all over the world. I have 12 pages of notes, folks, to report. The court would have looked better to the public if the event had been videotaped instead of being reported by Glendora. I'll just tell you again, as I did the Harrison court, it's a RICO. It's Title 18 Criminal Code, the United States Code 1961. Racketeer Influence Crime Organization. The city is acting as a racketeer influence crime organization. All they do is go out and give summonses and tickets. And they haul people into court. And they make them pay. And if they can't pay, they give them time to pay. And it's just money that goes into their pockets. It's a RICO. It's an enterprise. It's embezzlement. It's extortion. It's money motivated. And they have, in a RICO, you have to commit 2 predicate acts a year, and in a day they commit 40 predicate acts. It's a very, very sad thing to see a city wring the necks of the poor people. Very, very sad. Okay, I'm going to take a break now, and then I'm going to come back and read you pages 11 to 20, and then another break, and pages 21 through 30, and the doctor said, "I have bad news and very bad news," and the patient says, "What's the bad news?" And the doctor says, "You have 2 days to live." And the patient says, "What's the very bad news?" The doctor says, "I forgot to tell you yesterday." Thank you, God, for this perfect weather. See, this is a girl legal paper. There's boy legal papers and girl legal papers. And girl legal papers have cute little designs and flower pots. I'll try to find your flower pot. Oh yeah, there's a flower pot. Okay. E. Courts are not country clubs. Clerk Rosemary would not tell Glendora her last name. And when Kleinbaum and Glendora were before Sachs, Glendora asked the corporation counsel for his card, and he never gave it to her. Later, Glendora asked him again, and in huff and puff, he said he didn't have anything to do with my case, and he didn't have to give me his card. Courts are not country clubs. Glendora didn't need his card, he said, and when Glendora found out the court's malfeasance and nonfeasance, not making certain that the judge see her memorandum before April 13th, when Stephen's so-called hearing, today, the judge told Glendora to call Albany to get the clerk's name. Stop here and think about that one. So now Glendora has to call the mayor's office and find out the names of the 3 clerks in this court. And when Glendora buys a new Canon desk copier for $150 and has to pay the state $12 for the right to buy a new Canon desk copier for $150, you have to pay the state $12 for this Elodium. And when Glendora buys a new Sony mini DV camcorder, which is $400, Glendora has to pay the state $30 just for the privilege of buying it. $33 for this Elodium. And when Glendora left court and had to pay the state $1 for 9 pens that she bought, when she sees the indigent, lame, and old and feeble have to pay $50 surcharge on every fine to the state, Hello.com. That was an ant. When she sees the indigent, lame, old, and feeble have to pay $50 to the state for a surcharge on fines, she looks at what level of service the state returns to citizens in court. What's the name of the clerk? Call Albany and find out. And she sees a level of service, citizens in court conduct, and wags her head. At least the ripoff of citizens does not go into mahogany benches and pews and thick carpeting and festooned drapery for overly elaborate courtrooms like the Feds, with showers and kitchens in the chambers, the 4-room chambers, like the Feds down in Foley Square in Manhattan, and also in White Plains. Go see the Taj Mahal folks at 500 Pearl Street in Manhattan. And these pens that Glendora bought, 9 pens, and paid the state $1 to buy them, they won't last more than 3 or 4 days. Sergeant Paulino came to Glendora in the front row and asked her if he could put her backpack in the back row. Glendora says, "I thought you came here to take me out for coffee." He says, "That's later." And continued his request to put the backpack in the back room. Why? Somebody told him that they were afraid there was something in the backpack recording the happening. Can you tell the difference between Siberia and America? Now, why is this court so afraid of being recorded? What is the court doing wrong? What is the court hiding from the public? These are the public's courts, and the public has the right to know. That's First Amendment. U.S. Constitution. Back to the bench that has no jurisdiction over Glendora. Sachs said to the clerk, "Now, Glendora," and searched for all the other names that were superfluous, and Glendora says, that's fine, Glendora is enough, that's plenty. Would you come up? And Glendora says, well, it would be my good pleasure to do so. Set it down for trial for May 11th. And what day of the week is that, please? Wednesday. And what time? 8:30 a.m. All set. Glendora, will you be the trial judge? He says that unless something happened, he was planning to be. May I videotape it? And Sachs' judge said words but were not clear, something about asking the court administration, and Glendora says, you mean Judge Lippman? And then she corrected herself, it would not be Judge Lippman because he handles the administration of the courts in New York County. It would be outside of New York County, and that would be Judge Primador. Glendora says, and the clerk sitting next to the judge says, no, Pumador. It is Pumador. Primador is pretty good. So that was pretty funny. And the judge handed me the
I've got a great job. Money in the bank. Last month, someone asked if I read the Bible. The Bible? I'm successful. I'm happy. What do I need the Bible for? I can get more from the Wall Street Journal. But that made me curious. So I decided to take a second look.
I'm on my feet all day. When I go home, I just want to turn on the TV and relax. But read the Bible? All those these and thous and begats? What's the struggle with that after waiting on customers all day? But then a friend showed me this version written in modern English, and I was surprised.
This guy I play hoops with said I should start reading it, the Bible. Man, I said, I don't need no Bible. I mean, it just ain't cool. So he goes, I read it all the time. And he beat me by 20 points. So he gives me his Bible. I read it. It ain't hoops. But it ain't bad.
What's your excuse? Before you make an excuse to avoid reading the Bible, stop. Take a second look. Pick up the Bible for 5 minutes, and you may pick it up for a lifetime.
door is pretty good. So that was pretty funny. And then the judge handed me the following business card. Thank you. Glendora left with her heavy backpack and 20-pound Staples green box full of the Chatham Village County Court Appeals litigation or mislitigation, and 20 more defendants were kept outside the courtroom in the hall until Sachs finished with Glendora. Why? Now, court, what is your statutory authority robbing citizens of their right to make their own record of what happened in court? Did Congress make any such law? Did the New York State Legislature make any such law? Why do you do it? You don't want the public to know how bad the courts are? But they already know. You already know, don't you, public, how bad the courts are? You want to cheat and lie and get out of the truth of what really happened? Yes, that's a big part of it. Tapes do not lie. Judges, clerks, court stenographers do. With all of the mismanagement, turmoil, Glendora did not get an opportunity to tell her joke. Judge, why did you park there? To the defendant. And the defendant says, because there was a sign that said, fine for parking. wrong with the courtroom. The fun from modern courts would like to know, one, that the judge's name was not on the bench, that the people who went and stood before him never knew his name. There should be a nameplate, Barry Sachs. Two, there was no microphone. The public could not hear. You couldn't hear the judge, you couldn't hear the defendant. And by the Sixth Amendment, anybody criminally charged has to have a public trial. Now, it isn't public if the public can't hear it. And the courtroom housing is too crowded. Hudson's Warren Street is immaculate. I have never seen such clean pavement. There was not a speck of litter anywhere, and I usually pick up litter in passing, and this is the first time I never had to stoop. Glendora came to court only to prevent judgment by default, I tell you again. The claimant failed to give this court jurisdiction, and no claim has been made. Why didn't this court ask claimant what his claim was? And why didn't the court ask for the claim in writing? Glendora does not know what is claimed. She does not know that the amount claimed is $0. She does know, rather, that the amount of the claim claimed is $0. She knows her claim against Preferred is over 800 hours at $300 an hour, and over $3,200 in print, post, travel, and fees. Does this court have a record from the Chatham Village Court, County Appeals Court? The County Appeals Court told Dixon to send the record to the Hudson City Court. Well, Dixon never does anything right. And he never does anything legal. He never does anything the county court tells him to do. He should be out. Off the bench. Glendora asked, has the judge read it? It takes a long time in preparation on the 12th, Tuesday of April, the day before this so-called hearing in court. Glendora studied the record for 6 hours. And I only got about through, I'd say, a third of it. The court on the hearing date of April the 13th, Wednesday, took 6 hours of travel, preparation, and being there, but not appearing. Now, when will this court be processing Glendora's claim against Preferred and Natalia at all? What we've been talking about so far is just one suit. There's two. There's Natalia versus Glendora, and there's Glendora versus Natalia, the landlord. Klein Bob said to the judge that the file was so thick. Why is that a defense? What is the relevance? What is the point? Yet Kleinbaum was carrying only 1/4 of it. The whole file is a Staples box of reams. Kleinbaum complained that Glendora's papers are handwritten. Well, Glendora's is in good company. So is the Declaration of Independence. So is the Constitution of the United States. So is the Constitution of the state of New York. What law does handwritten violate? Is there any law that says that legal papers should not be handwritten? Glendora objects to Natalia's not appearing. By the Fifth Amendment, Glendora has the right to be faced by her accuser. Glendora has no Carmody weight proof that Kleinbaum is authorized to represent the claimant. What do you call fake spaghetti? What do you call fake spaghetti? The great impasta. Okay. I'm trying to, this camera's very sophisticated. It's a digital 8. It's 8 millimeter, yet it's digital. And I'm trying to set it up for you folks so that you can always see the date and the time. And it was there for a while and it's gone. Now, I paid $1.25 for a cup of coffee on Warren Street, just a little up from the so-called courthouse and the police station. I think that's way too much. This court has to be run properly. There are citizens out there who care. So far we have judicial malpractice. Being a judge is a trade, and a trade must be practiced correctly. Affirmation. I, Barry Sachs, declare under penalty of perjury that I have read all of Glendora's papers, this paper 22 pages, her memorandum of April 6th, and her papers to the Chatham Court and to the County Appeals Court, and I understand them signed, print, and date. Glendora was falsely summoned to court like a false arrest. This is actionable, and Civil Rights Title 42 U.S. Code Section 1983 and 1985. Kleinbaum lied when he said he did not know what action was appealed. Well, he knew. Both of them were appealed. He lost both of them. Both of Dixon's orders against Glendora were vacated. Dixon did such a bad job on both cases that both cases were taken away from him and elevated to city court. Kleinbaum said he won a judgment on one case, but said judgment was vacated. But Glendora is used to Kleinbaum's lying. She has a record of over 200 of them. It's what the feds call Criminal Code 18 U.S. Code Section 1001, lying and covering up, material fact, and sanctions pursuant to Federal Civil Procedure Rule 11. Also, Kleinbaum knew fully well that Glendora did not make a counterclaim. She filed a separate action. There's a difference between a counterclaim and a separate action. Glendora versus Nasty Natalia through Preferred Country Properties was the name of my action. The court has a choice. Either Kleinbaum is lying or he's addled. Glendora's defenses. Glendora had to spend $200 getting the premises into shape, doing things Natalia should have done before renting it. The stairs wobbled over the porch. They were not nailed down. The hand railings swung back and forth and was not secured. There was no lock on the outside screen door. It was broken. There was excessive discard of tree branches in the back that Glendora had cleared out. This cost Glendora $200 to remedy. She figured she'd rather pay for it than get involved with the landlord, and was she ever right? In the summer, when it came to something Glendora's friends couldn't fix, a broken hot water faucet, she asked Natalia to fix it, and it took Natalia 9 days to replace the faucet washer, and Ed put it on backwards. For 9 days, Glendora had to get on her knees and reach far deeply into the corner sink to turn off the hot water every time that she used it. She was bailing out the water repetitively. Her confidence in Natalia to preserve the warranty of habitability was shot when the furnace stopped sua sponte on a November Saturday afternoon and never came back on. In 2003, Glendora called Natalia, and all she got was a telephone answering recorder. Well, a telephone answering recorder can't fix the furnace. The temperature was 35 degrees, and Glendora was close to hypothermia. I was sick. She put in a terrible night, Glendora did, and she called Chatham Fuel Saturday afternoon, but they wanted $120 just to come out and look at it, not to fix it. So Sunday at church, Kim said she would send her dad to fix it, and Glenn was so cold. Anyway, the bill came, I think. Anyway, the bill came, and it was $182, and Glendora paid it instantly by check, and she kept copies of the bill and the check to Natalia, and Natalia never reimbursed Glenn. So Glenn took it off the January rent, and then Natalia misrepresents that the January rent was not paid, and it was paid in full. Glendora does not have to pay for repairing the landlord's furnace, and the landlord should be there, or somebody should be there. Glendora does not have to pay for repairing the landlord's furnace, and in February the sink drain started to leak, and Glendora had to bail it out constantly, again wanting to wait 9 days for Natalia to get it fixed. She asked a neighbor to fix it. 2 hours labor, $20, and $7 for a new drain. Glendora paid the neighbor and sent Natalia the copies of the receipt paid and the check. Natalia did not pay Glendora, took it out of the March rent. Glendora did, and Natalia said the March rent had not been paid. Well, it had. These 2 items were the basis of her 3-day eviction. Can you imagine being that nasty? Again, never served on Glendora's pursuant to the New York State Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law. Glendora moved within a week. The petition was dated on March the 18th, 2004. The court appearance was for March the 23rd, 2004. Glendora vacated by March the 28th. I couldn't stand the place any longer, or her. Natalia owes Glendora $15,000 for March the 29th, $15 for March the 30th, and $15 for March the 31st, which were all paid. Natalia owes Glendora $435 security deposit since June the 28th, 2002, plus 9% statutory interest. When Glendora vacated on 3/28, the summary proceeding was over. But without any complaint served on Glendora or on the court, without any service of a complaint, Kleinbaum Natalia sneaked in another hearing for April the 13th, and without paying a filing fee, getting an index number, inter alia. They called it damages. Such a thing had no standing in the court. They had no standing in the court. It was non-existent, and it is non-existent to this day. Again, it does not have and never did have standing. Wherefore, therefore, and ergo, Preferred Country Properties versus Glendora is over and must be declared over and dismissed. It was bogus from the beginning. But with ignorance and inexperience and bungling, Dixon, under the undue influence of Kleinbaum, let a trial go on. Exactly what happened at that trial is transcribed in Glendora's Notice of Appeal with attachment. See attachment pages 162 to 220. All of Glendora's defenses are stated therein. Following the fix that was no surprise to anybody, Dixon dishonestly awarded Natalia $2,000 surplus. Glendora appealed and got it vacated by the county court. And she got a remand. And she got a new judge. Dixon stated himself he was disqualified. Glendora sued Dixon, his wife, Natalia defendants, Chatham Village and Chatham Police for violations of her civil rights under Title 42 of the United States Code, Section 1983 and Section 1985 conspiracy. Under color of state. They are state actors. That means they work for government. Chatham hired a lawyer in Indiana to defend. The suit was brought in the United States District Court, Chicago. In tandem was and is the case Glendora versus Preferred Country Properties. The record on this case is another 30 pages, and we reveal that later. Glendora filed a lengthy complaint against Dixon with the New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct, a mandate of the Constitution of the State of New York. Then she sued the Commission in the United States District Court, Puerto Rico, for not protecting the public against bad judges. And then Dixon himself filed a statement that he was disqualified. Paragraph 28 reserved, and here's a great word, folks. You know, after you said your conclusion, after you said your wherefore, and your therefore, and your ergo, and so forth, look at this. A fortiori. With greater force, all the more, even more certain and necessary. Glendora's motion to dismiss in its entirety Preferred Country Properties versus Glendora must be granted together with the cost, fees, disbursement of this action and all other relief proper. Dated April the 18th, Patriot State, 2005, the State of New York, County of Columbia. Yours in truth and in animo patriae, Glendora, without prejudice by the Uniform Commercial Code, 1,266. It took 33 hours. It cost $49 print, post, travel. Total Domnan against Natalia is 842 hours at $300 an hour and $3,293.27 print, post, travel, and fees, and it is notarized. So be it. Solemnly ratified, and let's find a fader. Let's find a fader. There's a fader. You want a black fader, a white fader, or a mosaic fader? Welcome, folks, to the Happy House and to the Happy Web. And let's refresh you on the happiness lesson. Spend your time alone with God every day. Sit down and think and listen and touch the oneness that is inside of you. Can you realize that? That you can be one with the greatest there is, the wealthiest there is, the wisest there is, the most successful there is? Do you realize that? Just by being one with God. And don't waste your thought when you're around working with your hands or driving your car or doing menial things. Count your thoughts. Say, one, that you're alive, and two, you're healthy, and count your blessings. And three, what a wonderful world this is. And where you're going in life and what God has made you to do. And let's see. Pray for people. Pray for them that they be one with God and lead others to one with God, and that they be happy and whole, and that they be healthy, and that they reach their fulfillment and their peace and the joy and the greatness and the harmony and the applause and the appreciation and the happiness and the fulfillment. Those are all good things you can do. The happiness contest is going. It closes on May the 1st. Sunday, actually, it has to be Monday, the day after which is Law Day. So the American Bar Association, you never can believe anything they say. You heard about the postage stamp that came out that had a lawyer on it, and it confused the public. They didn't know which side to sit on. The happiness contest, 90 words or less. So it's got to be about happiness. And you mail it to Box 124, Ghent, New York, 12075. It's open to all ages. The decision of the judges is final. You can't think of anything else, can you? That's the happiness contest. $25 cash is the first prize, and the second prize is $10 cash, and the third prize is $5 cash. It's only cash, though, in Federal Reserve notes. It's not a silver certificate. Thanks to our badly run government that's been kidnapped by gangsters. And then, what else? Just a minute, I'll go get it for you. You can have a Glendora Happy Book. Call for a Glendora Happy Book. Who said the British are not coming? Or reverse. Just call 914-949-9495 for a Glendora Happy Book. We have about 7 people who have called for them. You knew that the little kitten had found an ideal home with Kim the teacher. And that the kitten loves the family and the family loves her. And .com is lonesome. When Jim Burness wanted to get his legal paper notarized, the people in the bank said they couldn't do it because the notary wasn't here. And Jim Burness said to Kelly, his daughter, we got to get this notarized. We have to get it in court. And a man popped out of nowhere and said, you suing Cablevision? I'll notarize it. And then when they were leaving the courthouse, a process server said, you sued Cablevision? Hooray! And I think that's that news of the date. I jot all these notes for you. So I think we covered the three main things that happened in this lesson. The Glendora Happy Book and the Happiness Contest. Big news that David Rockefeller gave the Museum of Modern Art $100 million. $100 million. Why not? Gasoline is at $2.27, and they made their money in Exxon, Standard Oil, Esso. Glendora's motion to dismiss Natalia Preferred Country Properties in the Hudson City Court, Columbia County, State of New York. Chris and I served it on April 18th, Patriot Day, around 4:15 p.m. And then we mailed 48 videotapes to the TV stations of a chat with Glendora. And then we went to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Livingston, Columbia County, State of New York. And we went there to buy .com fried chick. .com is a vegetarian, and it took me 4 hours and 60 miles and $32 to buy her fried chick, vegetarian chicken. And they invited us to go to the cooking class. They'd had a cooking class there for 6 weeks, and the Seventh-day Adventists really know how to cook. And it's all vegetarian, and it's all salubrious. It's good for you. And they gave us went around and passed around cornbread and some kind of wheat bread and the Ezekiel 4:9 bread. A drink from a blender. Melons made out of cantaloupe and bananas, so good. And then they gave us other drinks, and they gave us water, and they taught us how to eat helpfully, and take care of our bodies. Seventh-day Adventists are very good for that. They get premiums in England from insurance companies because of their health habits. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't take dope, and they eat salubriously. And that's what I'm going to show you next. It's the Seventh-day Center in Livingston, Columbia County, New York. You will be seeing that next. I want to thank Elmer Johnson in Yonkers for bringing a chat with Glendora through there. I'd like to show you, I would like to thank Karen Heck for putting a chat with Glendora on at 10 to 10:30 p.m. in New Jersey, Bergen County, New Jersey. And I'm aghast at their illiteracy. Look at that, your program. How should that be spelled, folks? Of course, Y-O-U-R, the possessive. Your, as spelled here, is a contraction for you are. So we have the illiteracy of the English language and the illiteracy of the laws and the rights of public access. Shame on you, Charles Doan. And they did it twice. This was sent to my signer in Cresskill, New Jersey. Thank you, James Lehman, who took me there, and that's the day, the happy day that we met Betty Ann Smith. In the Norwalk, Connecticut Cablevision system, I wish to encourage praise and bring to your attention Ethan Book Jr., who continues his fight against government corruption in Fairfield County, in fact, the whole state of Connecticut. He does not back down, and he does not whimper out. He keeps up his fight. And horrible things have happened to him, and they have done terribly un-American things to him and painful things to him that would probably devastate the rest of us, but he stood up and he has fought and fought and fought. National Wildlife, folks, I cannot continue these donations of $4 every week or two to these 12 or 14 or 16 charities. I just cannot keep them up. Will you take them over for me? National Wildlife, for instance. Paralyzed Veterans, Eastern Paralyzed Veterans. And now, here is a happy note to you. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Hi, Glendora. I want to congratulate you. And cute. Guess who? Brian O'Hare, a fellow public access producer. I want to congratulate you on the amazing achievement of producing your 4,000th show. I had the pleasure of seeing it and taping it, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Here's to you, and to Andy Herdsman for putting on a great program together for your 4,000th show. That's for all, thank you for all your work and goodwill in promoting public access TV. All the best. Brian.
I've got a great job. Money in the bank. Last month, someone asked if I read the Bible. The Bible? I'm successful. I'm happy. What do I need the Bible for? I can get more from the Wall Street Journal. But that made me curious. So I decided to take a second look.
I'm on my feet all day. When I go home, I just want to turn on the TV and relax. But read the Bible? All those these and thous and begats? What's the struggle with that after waiting on customers all day? But then a friend showed me this version written in modern English, and I was surprised.
This guy I play hoops with said I should start reading it, the Bible. Man, I said, I don't need no Bible. I mean, it just ain't cool. So he goes, I read it all the time. And he beat me by 20 points. So he gives me his Bible. I read it. It ain't hoops. But it ain't bad.
What's your excuse? Before you make an excuse to avoid reading the Bible, stop. Take a second look. Pick up the Bible for 5 minutes, and you may pick it up for a lifetime.
Do not tape any of this.
Oh no, I'm taking this, so don't touch.
Okay.
I'm taking this and... Isn't that clever the way they do that? Mm-hmm. No flag man.
Not that there is flagging out working half the time anyways. Out to lunch,
What are they doing? A bridge?
I think. We're redoing the roads over here in the summertime. The winter's when we need it, when it's all those upheaves in the road.
Here's the Catskills in the distance. This is the Seventh-day Adventist complex, the nursing home and the retirement home. And I'm trying to find the store. And I think I took the wrong turn as usual. So we'll drive around. Do you see a great big water tower anywhere?
No?
Okay, because I think we're kind of right, folks. Look at all these trailers. I didn't know they had all these trailers.
Very nice.
I am wrong, somehow. Well, let's drive around. Hey, where's the big water tower? That will tell me where the...
Maybe it's up the other end.
For all the saints who from their labor stress, who thou by faith before the world confess thy name. There's the water tower. Oh, Jesus, be forever blessed. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You remember the pictures I took of this, folks, when we were down here in the midwinter and how awful it was? Okay, here we go. Let's get some bags. Let's go, Chris. Okay. Well, you're lucky, because that's where they get rid of them, is in nursing homes. No, sir. I wouldn't let my mother go. And I stayed right with her until she was 93, and I was there when she died. And so was my husband, and so was my friend Nancy. You don't have to have, honey. This is a Seventh-day store. And Helen Leland again pulled me out of the hole. This is the second time. Mrs. Wagner's coming over to open the store. Let's see what we got. Main thing is fried chick. My kitty is Wham. Do you see Wham? Yep. Meatless salami. See anything else? Chick patties. I don't think she likes those. Chicken pot pie. Is that what that is? Yeah. Thanks. How's your husband?
Hi. I dropped him off at the church so he could go do his
Are you ever
thing.
going to pick him up again?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What's down here, hon?
Those are the sausage, breakfast sausage links.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, tuna. Okay. This is this big thing of Wham you told me. The vegetarians, the Seventh-day Church has always been great on health, and that's why they're vegetarians. And they do have these cooking schools at every church, usually.
Oh.
Except that I've lost track of them in the past 3, 4, maybe 6 or 7 years. And they do. Watch this. Wait till you see this cooking.
Well, I hope you don't hold it against me because I told you I wasn't a vegetarian.
You wait till you just see this, folks. What are these little trailers that they've turned into houses?
Probably.
Now, Chris, remember how he came in here, so we'll get out.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, this is okay. I know where we are
Take it
now.
right out there, won't it?
Oh, yeah, this is fine. I know where we are. There's Route 9 right there.
Right.
Thanks, Mrs. Wagner, for driving slowly. She goes here like a rocket. There she is. Oh, let's park this Lincoln next to that Cadillac and show it up.
78,000 miles.
Now, honey, we have to make sure. I can't close this window, so make sure you have all your valuables. I would take them with me.
You think so?
Well, you know,
Tape's almost should have bothered that. In my jacket. I got my phone on me.
well, take it in case you want to put something on you. Oh, you got your phone on you?
Yeah, I got my phone on me.
Okay, take your thing in case you want to put something on.
I
Here we
won't-
go, folks.
I won't take the lead.
The motor on this window is okay. It's the cord that's broken. And I don't get time to fix it with 9 legal papers to do.
Actually, all you had to do was put it in front.
Yes, that's right. Where's my bag? That's my
Right
bag.
inside.
No, they do, I shouldn't say that. They don't on a regular basis. But when they, yes, they,
The food. Lentils and things. But you just mix it up and serve it. That's it. Very quick and easy.
thank you, Sally.
Thank you.
Cooking school, thank you for this food. Allow it to nourish us and strengthen us. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Amen.
And also, you're going to have something open-faced crackers. And has anybody had these Wassa bread crackers?
No.
My camera?
No.
Mike.
You might.
Okay, I'm not worried about that. Anyway, there was something on television, either CBS or ABC. It was on the evening news. They were talking about the fat in crackers like Cheez-Its and these other things.
Yeah.
And they gave 3, and I can't remember the other 2, but one of the ones that are the healthiest, low fat, low everything, is the Wassa bread. Now, if you're a Swede, or maybe Norwegians, do Norwegians? Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. We have I grew up on these, but they were thicker. But now they have what you have in the Wassa bread, and they're the little ones with better than cream cheese on the bread, open face with little olives on it. You'll see them coming around. But this is a light rye, and it has wheat, whole grain rye flour, and sea salt. That's it. And this one is a fiber, and it does have wheat in it. Wheat, whole grain, rye flour, wheat bran, sesame seeds, wheat germ, wheat flour, and sea salt. Now this is what if you're allergic to wheat, this is what we're serving, actually, the wheat one.
Are they like Rye Crisp?
Yeah, it's like Rye Crisp, but it's healthier.
Healthier than Rye Crisp?
Yeah.
Oh, where do you get them? Always in a health food store?
No, this is in a regular grocery store.
Really?
Okay, Wassa bread.
Wassa. Yeah. And if you want to say it's like you say Wassa.
Oh, she's a sweet.
Okay, enjoy. How to provide a balanced diet without meat, and I think that color,
Texture.
freshness,
Texture.
texture.
Banana pudding.
That was my answer. Okay. And then you store them in a cool, dry place. The key to that is a short amount of time. And eat some raw foods every day. When you do cook, use a minimum amount of water and time. Stay away from as many refined foods as possible. And buy or bake breads with what kind of flour?
Wheat.
Right, whole grain. And use brown rice instead of white. Your intake of such starches and complex carbohydrates should consist of 6 or more servings a day, and this includes the seeds and the legumes. Now, the legumes that we have, the chickpeas, the hummus, the kidney beans, and all, different people have different favorites of different. I happen to like kidney beans a lot, dark kidney beans.
Are peas legumes?
Chickpeas.
Peas?
Green peas. Green peas are a vegetable. They're not considered in the yeah, but they're healthy for you too. And so anyway, eating simply, attractively, well-prepared foods at regular intervals. Okay? It's not healthy to do a catch as catch can kind of meal plan. You know, when I have a minute, I'll eat something. You really need to plan, especially if you have a family too. You need to plan for that. And this is something, eating between meals. Okay. I think we all have been guilty, of that.
That's food.
But you know something? Think of your stomach as a person. Okay? It's down there, and all this stuff is coming down into it. It says, wait a minute, give me a rest. Because because if you're eating between meals, what's the stomach doing? It's got to work. It's got to work. And then people get things like acid stomach, or they get things like maybe ulcerative stomachs and different things like that. So enriched foods can lead to being also overweight and to several degenerative diseases as well. Now, Pastor did a big thing on water, and it says drinking, and we have served water here, and as I thought about what I was going to say, I thought, uh-oh, we're serving water. Somebody took an extra glass of water, but drinking a lot of liquids with meals, what does it do? Actually it slows your digestion. So where does it sit? It may sit in your stomach. And there is something, we had a dietitian in nurses training when I was in nurses training, and she would say something about do you remember this? Marge went to the same nursing school that I did. Something putrefaction of the colon. I wish I could remember. Okay, and so that can happen if there's too much water slushing around in there. Some spices and rich greasy foods irritate the stomach. Beverages containing caffeine can cause ulcers and acid stomach, heartburn, anxiety, and depression. So those who choose to eat...
You know, folks, I really should be a Seventh-day Adventist, because they don't eat meat. Beautiful letter here from Brian O'Hare in Nassau County. He is the public access producer of The Workman Show. And let me show you the cute little card that he sent. Brian O'Hare, I want to congratulate you on the amazing achievement of producing your 4000th TV show. I had the pleasure of seeing it and taping it and thoroughly enjoyed it. Here's to you and to Andy Hersman for putting a great program together for your 4000th show. Thank you for all of your work and goodwill promoting public access TV. All the best, Brian O'Hare. Hey, Glendora, along with these congratulations comes a wish for every success. Congratulations, Brian. Please, from the Show for the Workers. Now, that's a very, very nice thing to do, Brian, and I congratulate you for being a public access producer and putting up with things that you shouldn't have to put up, but persevering. And here is his envelope. Mr. James Cahagan in Lysander in Rockland County forwarded this card to Glendora from Cablevision. Look at that. Your program. That's illiterate. Y-O-U''RE is a contraction for you are. What they want is the possessive. Y-O-U-R. That is so sad. As illiterate about English grammar as they are about cable TV public access rights. Anyway, thank you for putting the show back to its original time slot where it never should have been moved, from which it should never have been moved since 1995, 9:30 p.m. Tuesdays in Rockland County. And here's the cute little card that James sent with it, because he has 2 kitty cats. And he's a great Faline fan, as well as a chat with Glendora fan. And thank you, Betty Ann Smith, the signer for New Jersey, Bergen County. begin that beautiful grammatical error, your program, The Chat with Glendora. Thank you for this time at 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Thank you, Betty Ann Smith. Thank you, Karen Heck. What was I going to tell you? The Chat with Glendora is on at 10 p.m. in quite a few places. Hog, Friday nights. And Nassau County, Long Island, probably the biggest cable system there is. Friday nights at 10 p.m. 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. in Norwalk, Connecticut, Fairfield County. 10 p.m. in Binghamton, Time Warner. 10 p.m. Bergen County, Mondays. 10 p.m. Tuesday nights was the old Bob Hope radio time. I would bring to your attention the brave and truly American fight for justice by Ethan Book Jr. He discovered corruption in the Bridgeport, Connecticut plan to turn garbage into energy, which is a great idea, and a huge loan to Enron before Enron was exposed. And when he blew the whistle, he got fired from the Connecticut Trust, Bank and Trust, which I believe now is defunct. And he was retaliated against by Governor Rowland, the Connecticut governor, and by his whole chain of people down to the courts, wrongfully taken to court, wrongfully put in jail. And yet he continues his fight. He does not bow his head. April the 18th is Patriots Day. He is a true patriot. About whom am I speaking? Mr. Ethan Book Jr., Fairfield, Connecticut. I'm giving up all the charities. It just isn't any money anymore. But not this one. Not this one, folks. A lesson in animal rights weighs 1 pound. Do you think that this doggy should be given dope all the time so they can study drug addiction? Do you think that's fair? Do you think it's fair for them to experiment on kitty cats? Do you? Do you think that's fair? I wish you would support this. I'll show you their address. It's in Washington, D.C. Physicians Committee. On responsible medicine. P.O. Box 96736, Washington, D.C. 20077. Support that. Franchise those animals. There's no need of it. There's no need of it at all. Stop the cruelty to animals. Stop the cruelty to animals. Stop making cows and pigs and chickens live in these terrible conditions that they live in on farms. Stop people from bludgeoning them and for sledgehammering them and for grabbing them by one leg and hoisting them with the whole weight of the body pulling out of that hip and slitting their throats and skinning them alive. Stop it. Stop the agony and the terror. people from eating meat, which isn't good for them anyway. It's in a state of putrefaction from the time that they start eating it. Teach people to be vegetarians and teach people what Isaiah said, God's holy mountain, where the lion and the lamb lie down together. And animals, you be kind to each other. Don't you animals go out and be mean to other animals. Amen. Will you please help National Wildlife Federation? They help the wild animals. The most wildlife I've ever seen was at my college, my undergraduate college, American International College. This is James Cahagan's envelope. There's a cute little pussy cat. I'm waiting for $4. It's not much. But it's a lot when you do it over every year, year after year after year, a couple of times a month. It's more than I have. Two minutes of goodwill, good cheer, and good humor brought to you by. The happiest days of your life, folks, are your school days, if your children are old enough to enroll. And if you can keep your head while others all around you are losing theirs, it might be that you're the cause of it all. Misers are no fun to live with, folks, but they make wonderful ancestors. A millionaire's advice for becoming rich and powerful: rise early, work late, and strike oil. And in spite of what you read in the newspapers, people do not die in alphabetical order. And here's some advice to a friend at an auction. Oh, here's some advice to you. If you go to an auction, do not wave to a friend at an auction. And Marilyn says she can always tell when the boss is going to arrive. His aftershave lotion reaches the office 3 minutes before he does from the parking lot. And what really bothers some people about the airlines, for instance, one person, he can't afford to fly to Paris, he can't afford to fly to Rome, he can't afford to fly to Hong Kong, but his luggage has been to all three. And two old ladies were aboard the airlines, and one of them said to the stewardess, "Is this flight faster than sound?" And the stewardess says, "No, not this one." And the little old lady says, "Oh, good, because we want to talk." And folks, if you look like your passport photo, you aren't fit to travel. Have you celebrated your tin wedding anniversary? Your, what's your diamond? Diamond is, that's 75, and 50 is golden, and 25 is silver. You know what your tin wedding anniversary is? Your 10th one. Tin wedding anniversary, that's 10 years of eating out of cans. Happiness lesson. Spend your time every day alone with God. Reach the wealth that's inside of you. Everything you want is inside of you. Reach the power there, the wisdom, the attainment, the achievement, the peace, the happiness, the joy. Pray for your enemies. Count pure thoughts. You know, just don't let any negative, second-level, trivial, or ugly thoughts darken your mind. Don't do that. Just count pure thoughts and happy thoughts. And what else? And pray for your enemies and count blessings. And I have a list of people who would like to have you pray for and sing hymns. That's always good. What hymn should we sing today? Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord above. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and darkness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Call for a free Glendora Happy Book. It's elementary, but it does give you the first steps, and it's invaluable for that. And the happiness contest, 90 words or less. Send to Box 124, Ghent, New York, 12075. Contest closes May the 2nd, Law Day, Monday. Decision of the judges is final, open to all ages. We have very interesting responses to these things, and I believe that's everything. Keeps the courage flaming. Now you remember, folks, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod. I'm going to show you the status of the legal papers. This is the mail that came in on April the 8th.
And now, may the love of God, the grace of Christ, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be upon us today and every day. Amen.
Folks, I didn't show you a videotape of all the people having the congregation, you know. The Bible says you should have a congregation where you sing psalms and you sing praise and you talk about God and you exercise your faith. At the East Chatham Methodist Church, I went there after I went to the other church that I showed you. It was very, very good. So the tapes are all wrapped. Here they are. 44 TV stations. And I'm telling you, it takes all day, every other Sunday. It takes 8 hours to wrap these tapes. This morning, a blue jay ate some of the bread that I put down. And then, later in the morning, a cardinal picked up some of the bread. That is two of the greatest birds God ever created. The blue of a blue jay and the red of a cardinal. I have to water the grass twice a day until it sprouts. Right over here in our burn hole. And then we have another burn hole where we burned dead branches over on the other side. I have to water these twice a day until they sprout. Are they sprouting? Can you see them sprouting? No, they're just seeds. But it's another wonderful thing about. Guess who came here last night? The cutest raccoon. Oh, they are so cute. With their little tan ears and their brown coats and their black masks. And guess who came with them? A little skunk. And they feasted in great satisfaction, both out the front door and out the back door. I'd love to get a video of them, but they would just scamper when they saw you. This is a new partnership book on June the 14th, Flag Day, from February 14th to June the 14th. Partnership, 4 months. I wish this was smell-o-vision in addition to television, so you could enjoy the aroma that comes from these sweet, sweet blossoms. And you can see that we have a generous supply of it. An elm tree shaped like flowers in a vase. Can't you smell it? Mmm. Oh, it smells so good. The birdies and the other animals have eaten 4 loaves of bread this week. You can get a loaf of bread at Save-A-Lot for 54 cents.